Well, greetings, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of Hades Beer Corner. And making a cameo on the Beer Corner channel is Bertil. And of course, with me in the studio is Morran. Making these cameos for these two is very rare, but here we are with Bertil. Uh, because it's Bertil's time to rise and shine on the Beer Corner channel, as well as Alfred, is on his great journeys and taking a break uh, today. So, welcome to this new video. It's a very interesting beer. This video is in many other ways very exceptional, but more on that soon. Okay, so this video is a very special one because, because part of it has been filmed outside the studio or this, whatever you want to call this room, computer room, office, you name it. In question today is a Lithuanian lager, a dark Lithuanian lager, which is something, first of all, to my knowledge, I have never ever tasted any Lithuanian beers. To my knowledge, could be I'm not entirely could be in my youth that I have tasted some of these Lithuanian beers. I have no idea how good the beer beers are in Lithuania. So this is a really new realm to me. And also, this beer happens to be a lager. It's a dark lager. Um, so, and the malts used in this beer is very strange. I had never heard of a caramel malt until now. Uh, until until I tasted this video, honestly, as I will say later on, first I thought it has some extra sugar or caramel syrup in it or something like that, but I was wrong. It's caramel malt. So what caramel malts are it's a wide variety of beers use or have caramel malts in it, and it's often used to add color, flavor, and sweetness to a beer. Typically, I would guess as in this case, a lager beer. Um, it's uh, it's often um, produced separate from pale malt. Is typically quite dark malt. So they are typically made from a high nitrogen barley that is first soaked in water and then germinated, where the regular pale malt is next dried and killed at a low temperature. Caramel malts are instead left wet and heated to typical mash temperatures of 66 to 77 degrees Celsius for a few hours at a high humidity. So this mashes or converts the sugars while the sugars are still in the grain. Next, these caramel malts are roasted to about 120 degrees Celsius until a desired color is reached, and therefore in this process caramelizing the sugar and removing the excess moisture in it. So this is a quite weird way, if you ask me, and it's English ales, stout porters. Um, it's quite have crystal malt, and in mild ales, strong ales was the first type of beers that those were used. So that much about the caramel malts. I might talk about kind, different kinds of malts in a separate video about, well, malts in general, and then perhaps different kinds of hops, because there are an insane amount of different varieties of hops for different uh, countries and continents. But here we are at this point now. So let's go to the actual bits and pieces from the wilderness and enjoy. So I'm not even trying to attempt to pronounce this correctly. Tamsusis bistrampoliot vara alus, and it's dark lager. It's an interesting bottle. Hand holding hops, and it's 5.5%, which is quite typical for a lager beer. It's usually say anywhere between say 3.5 and 7%. The strongest I've personally drank is 6 point something, 6.5% or something like that. But let's go for the taste. Okay, so here in the wild for the first time for a beer corner or Hades corner video. So the beer today is, well, the bottle is huge. It's good. I mean, it has barley malt and then it's got caramel malt, which the caramel malt is there's an extra phase in the malting process that is there to give a caramelish or caramelize it to get the caramelish taste. So there are two different malts and some hops. It's very mildly hopped. I was surprised as on how um, sweet it is for a lager. First I thought, okay, there must be some sugar in it, like extra sugar in it, but it wasn't. It's really weird. Um, so the sweetness and the caramelish taste comes from the caramel malt that is in it. I will talk about caramel malt and how it's made a bit later on in this video, but this bit will be about, talking about the beer itself and tasting and rating the video. Uh, so let's go ahead and do that. So the color is very caramel. It's really amber in color, and then the head is very light, tall but very light. The bubbles are very large in comparison to what we're used to seeing in the beers I've drank so far, which are mainly porter, stouts, imperial stout, Baltic porter, and so forth, which have either, well, there is very thick head and the foam in, say, Guinness, but the bubbles in the head are a lot smaller. Thank you very much for watching this wonderful beer channel video. Today in the cameo roles are Ratil and of course Morran. They're here as a special guest cameo. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Again, whenever that may be, I aim at having that next week. Next week, Wednesday. This will be coming a bit later in the evening on a Wednesday because I had things to do and I couldn't pass those, and I decided that I still wanted to get this beer video out today on this very Wednesday. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.